The PMP exam is going to shift in a big way during 2026. AI, sustainability, business value, and one domain is tripling in size on the exam. So if you're studying for the PMP, this is your early warning shot. Not to say you have to take the exam before July 2026, but that the changes are coming. And like any good project manager, you need a project plan. You need to know what the obstacles are ahead of you. So let's break it down today. PMI doesn't update the exam just to make people's lives harder. They update it to reflect the real world, because the world, if you haven't noticed, is changing. Project management in 2025 is not what it was back in 2021. You're not just building schedules anymore. You're managing hybrid teams, navigating stakeholder politics, and watching AI sneak into your workflow every day. And you're being asked, what is the business impact of your project? And that's why the 2026 PMP exam is different. This version, it's increasing about how you lead, not just how you execute your projects. So let's get super clear here on the timeline of when this exam is actually going to come out. Right now, it is 2025 when we're recording the video. The current PMP exam is still active, and that's based on the 2021 exam content outline. But here's what's coming. In April of 2026, PMI is going to release the new study materials for this exam, which may surprise you that myself and other authorized training partners have already seen the first versions of this training. That's because we are preparing for this transition. Again, don't need to be scared. Instructors are ready to do this. On June 30th, 2026, the exam that we know right now is going to retire. And then on July 1st, the new exam is going live. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you're testing before July, stay on your current path. Use that 2021 exam content outline as your guide. But if you're planning to test in or after July 2026, then you need to shift your strategy to align to this new exam content outline. And this new ECO, there's a slightly new structure to it. Now, the exam still has 3 business domains: people, process, business, environment. But their importance, that's been rebalanced big time. Keyword here is rebalanced. The current domain numbers are right here. Now, the people domain is going from 42 to 33%. The process is going from 50 to 41%. And business environment, that one is jumping from 8% to 26%. That's over a quarter of the exam now that is focused purely on business outcomes, value delivery, sustainability, and compliance. If you've seen some other videos that I've posted before explaining business value and why PMI is stressing it so hard, you're starting to see the outcomes of what PMI was stressing just 6 months ago. They're doubling down on business value being provided by project managers. And they're starting with the PMP, the foundational certification for where project managers actually come from. So by increasing the value around business environment, we can now see the balancing out of all these different domains. It doesn't mean people and process are less important. PMI is just increasing the value of that single domain. That way we all know we need to increase our level of expertise in it, which is really not a scary as an update as some people tend to make it look right now. Now, let's also dig into what's new on the exam. There are some new things that are exciting and more realistic. First, we just talked about business value, strategic leadership. You need to start connecting the project outcomes with your project goals. So on the exam, you're thinking long-term. You're thinking ROI and sustainability, transformation of our organizations. You're also going to start getting some AI and emerging technologies. Yes, AI is on the 2026 exam. Now, you're not going to be using ChatGPT to answer a question. This isn't some kind of gimmick that they're putting on there, but it's starting to think about how AI can help us with smarter risk management, smarter resource management, or making faster decisions in our projects. Then we also have stakeholder leadership. We're going to get deeper into how we manage our stakeholders. It's beyond just identifying them. It's actually managing the resistance, driving the engagement, and leading change across your organization. Also, hybrid delivery. This is going to become front and center. Agile is still here, predictive is still a thing, but the exam wants to know, can you flex your approach? Because PMs in today's environment, they can't just force fit methods. They have to overcome and adapt to the situations and the projects that they're leading and find the right methodology that actually fits the project situation. Now, those are some changes, but what's staying the same? You're still working again across the 3 domains. You're still focusing on tasks and enablers within the structure of how they break out the exam content outline. Scenario-based questions aren't going anywhere, but there's going to be some changes to some questions. I'm going to do that in my next video. We're going to talk through those a little bit more. And you still need to know predictive, agile, and hybrid. That's not changing. We're still going to have those 3 focus areas. But overall, this PMP exam is really shifting away from just tasks and tools to people, value, and outcomes. So if you're already started studying, you're not starting over. You're just expanding what you need to focus on at this moment. So if I were you, here's what I'd do right now. Again, if you're taking the exam before July 2026, stick to your current study plan. But if you're testing after July 1st and you need to start thinking about how does AI fit into your projects, understand what sustainability means in PM terms. Practice stakeholder strategy. Think about how you're actually working with those stakeholders. And think like an executive, not just an executor of your projects. Here's what I always tell people. You don't study to pass. You train to lead your organizations, your projects. And like I said earlier, I've seen the PMI training for this new exam. PMI authorized training partners are getting to see and practice on this new material. And anyone who's telling you to take the exam now, sign up for my course before the exam changes, is because they're not prepared for this change. Change will scare anyone who's been using the same material since PMBOK 6. This is a new version of you as a project leader. And if you want to earn your PMP in 2026, check out my schedule for upcoming weekend PMP exam prep courses. And make sure you sign up for my email newsletter for updates, tips, tools, breakdowns every week. You've got the discipline, now build the mindset. I'm Russ Parker, the Bearded PM. Out.